broadcast. So those of you who are speaking, Comey said you actually have to put it right up to your mouth and just talk like a normal person. Like you're on The Voice or something.
The microphone.
Eat the mic. Is that what you do, Mayor?
Eat the microphone.
Eat the microphone. I'm usually loud enough, right? So we'll go with that. So Comey's just going to run down. We're going to start in about a minute. He has to let his folks know that we're going to roll. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Can you do any entertainment up there for us, Don?
No.
While you, no?
No.
Singing, no
Yeah,
dancing?
no singing, no dancing, no jokes.
Oh,
Yeah. So that kind of connects us back to it.
Mayor, do you get a signal when they're ready to roll? Do they tell you that, or should I just start talking?
Normally just start talking, or they'll give you the.
Oh, there's a thumbs up.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, or they'll come to the door and give you a thumbs up.
It's my first rodeo, so give me a little break, will you? So I just wanted to say good morning and welcome. It's my great honor to have had the opportunity to meet Jim Smith, Peg Smith's husband. It's in her memory that we celebrate this wonderful event here this morning. I never had the pleasure myself of knowing Peg, but I can tell from the conversations I've had with Jim that she's a totally outstanding human being. I'm going to run down a little bit of the notes that I took so you can hear a little bit about what Peg's legacy has been and why we've selected our volunteers of the year this morning, Al and Mary DePolt. So Peg believed everything is possible. She was an originator of the Food Shelf, on the original board of the ARC, an active member of the Enfield Council of Church Women. She helped start Penny Savers. She was on our original, come on in, Lorena, on our original board to start our Child Development Center. She helped specifically with the before and after school program. She started summer camp programs. She was a charter member of the bus committee. Let me know if I missed anything, Jim. I understand she actually.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, probably, I know. She was actually the first person to ride the Dial-A-Ride, as I understand it from history here. She was also our first Dial-A-Ride coordinator. She was a volunteer, and then when we decided that we would pay her, it was about $2 an hour, but she didn't really care about the money. That wasn't what she was about. She was a volunteer driver for FISH, which is the folks who drive people back and forth to doctor's appointments. Originally involved in the Commission on Aging. She helped establish the senior center and run almost all their holiday parties. Hostess with the mostest was what I was told. For 23 years or more, she helped with all our nutrition programs, the elderly meal programs. She carried food back and forth from JFK and the senior center. She assisted in arranging all the programs that we run currently with our CRT, Community Renewal Team Partners. She's also responsible for the weekend program that we do at Mark Twain. So Peg was quite a busy bee, as Jim described her to me. So you'll see that we have a little bee on the back of the program, and that's to honor her. He also told me that she had this wonderful polyester pantsuit that she used to wear for all her important events, and it was large stripe, black and yellow, built of polyester, so the thing never died, apparently, and it looked like the Steelers' old school uniforms. So she must have been quite a woman. So Peg also assisted a lot with the adult daycare program and all the other programs that we ran. Peg was the kind of woman that she would spark ideas in other people. She would motivate people to do better for their community and for themselves. And she was one of the kindest people that Jim has ever known. So Jim, we thank you for bringing forward this award. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to do it. And with that, I want to turn it over to Kathleen, and she's going to introduce the DePolts.
thank you so much, Dawn, and thank you all for being here today. This is a really wonderful occasion, and I'm very honored to be up here. Today, we're here to honor two very special people, Al and Mary, who have been dedicated volunteers of the Enfield Food Shelf for the last several years. In 2006, Peg Smith said the Enfield Food Shelf was and is a combined effort of thousands of people working and donating, coordinating food drives, and helping in creative ways to feed the hungry. That certainly embodies what Mary and Al have done. In its over close to 50 years now, the Enfield Food Shelf has had many wonderful volunteers, and many of whom I see out in the audience here today to help us recognize Mary and Al. All of our volunteers are very special to us, but what distinguishes Mary and Al above others is they are amongst those volunteers who have made a very pivotal impact on the organization. Those volunteers would include Peg Smith, Barbara Costas, and some of the founding members of the Enfield Food Shelf. I thought I would list for you all the tasks they accomplish in their average 25 to 30 hours a week, but Dawn told me I didn't have quite that much time today, so I'll just try to capture the essence of what they go through each week. I'll try to paint a little picture of their week for you. So each day of the week they come in, they're given a puzzle to finish, and each puzzle is very unique. The puzzle must be completed by the end of the day, or the following day's puzzle is not going to be completed. Al and Mary don't have the luxury of knowing what the picture on the puzzle looks like at all. That some of the sections of the puzzle are fairly consistent day to day, and some pieces are double-sided, larger than others, smaller. The shape of the puzzle is not always the same. We make it as difficult as possible. We actually hide some of the pieces so they don't even have all the pieces available for them. And each day they come in and start out with this complex and challenging new puzzle. Working as a team, they methodically assess the pieces, locate all those missing parts, delegate sections to other volunteers, patiently show new folks how to work the puzzle and put together some different parts. And before the end of the day, they pull together all those sections and ensure the puzzle is completed so we can move forward the next day. That is a little bit of what it takes every single day to feed that 350 to 400 families that come through our food shelf each week. They are such an integral part of the fabric of what makes the Enfield Food Shelf the organization it is today. And on behalf of the board, the directors, the volunteers, and all of our families, I am so proud to thank you for choosing to be an integral part of our efforts to ensure that no Enfield family is without food assistance. I don't.
Give it back to me.
Oh, you get it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we ready? Yeah. Thank you. So that was wonderful. So, we do this as part of the work we do at the Department of Social Services, but we do it on behalf of the entire town. So please accept these words that the mayor is going to give on behalf of the entire community as our gratitude for the work that you have done, the model that you have set for other people, and the good work that you've done in the community that has impacted thousands of families here. So, Mayor, would you also like your
Yes, I would.
compadres?
My
Your,
compadres.
your compadre
Ed
council
and
members?
Greg, right? That might be the first time they were called compadres.
Padres, yeah. So.
Oh, you've got it right here. So first of all, to Al and Mary, and you are familiar faces, and but I really appreciated the rundown that Kathleen gave about the work that you do at the food shelf. When she started her remarks, I said, wow, that's a pretty great volunteer job. You get to build a puzzle every day. And then you start to understand, what that puzzle means. And large pieces, small pieces, double-sided pieces, nothing ever is the same day in and day out, except for the impact that you make here in your community. And as volunteers like the two of you, supported by your friends and your family, your fellow volunteers at the food shelf, that see your work day in and day out. And I know, just because Mary didn't want to sit in the front row, that's who you are. You don't get involved in the community to be recognized like this or to sit in the front row. You do it out of the goodness of your heart, your dedication to your community, and to a cause that you hold near and dear to you. But it is right for the town to take pause at every, once a year or so, recognize a fantastic lady in Peg Smith. The work that she did, that Dawn ran down, is historic, and I believe this is award number 2, or it's award number 3. So you follow in great steps as well, and it's great that we can honor Peg by honoring Al and Mary as well. So on behalf of Ed and Greg and really the entire town, the town council, our town manager Brian is here as well. we have a proclamation for you, and this is the point in time that you get to be on television. So you have to come forward.
Yep.
So come on up.
It's like the Price is Right. Come on.
Yeah, because you could say, Alan Mary,
Come on down.
come on down.
We can put one of you on each side of Scott.
Oh, perfect.
All right. And so what we like to issue proclamations, because what the proclamation does is it gives the community a good sense of who you are by giving some great detail. And then this is something as well. So it becomes part of the town record, but it's something for you to take home as well and maybe put on the mantle or up on the wall, because it is something that you should be very proud of, because the town is very proud of your efforts on behalf of our community. So here's the proclamation. Proclamation recognizing Al and Mary DePault, 2016 Peg Smith Memorial Volunteers of the Year. Whereas Al and Mary DePault, since coming to the Enfield community in the 1960s, have been strong and active supporters of many local organizations through food and non-food donations to charitable organizations, educational, civic, and religious groups. And whereas Al and Mary consistently dedicated more than 2,000 hours annually volunteering at the Enfield Food Shelf and food shelf-related events. And whereas Al coordinates more than 25 donation pickups from local stores, orders and coordinates delivery of 3,000 to 6,000 pounds of products from FoodShare, stocks food items, manages volunteers, and handles maintenance items at the food shelf weekly. And whereas Mary trains volunteers to process donated food items, oversees incoming donations, organizes special distributions for the holidays, and fulfills requests of other Enfield agencies for items needed by families throughout the community. And whereas thanks to their efforts and their coordination of 65 food shelf volunteers, nearly 500,000 meals are available for 400 families each week. And whereas Al and Mary have been setting the standard of volunteerism at the Enfield Food Shelf since 2010. Now, therefore, I, Scott Copen, Mayor of the Town of Enfield, on behalf of the Town Council, the Town Administration, and the entire community, to hereby congratulate Al and Mary DePault on being recognized as the 2016 Peg Smith Memorial Volunteers of the Year. Signed today, November 4th, 2016. Al, Mary, thank you, and on behalf of a very grateful community, congratulations.
Can we have Dawn and Kathy come up
Yeah.
too?
Oh, sure. This is a photo op.
You can stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good?
Good.
Got it? All right. Here you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. Go.
So you guys have to painfully stay up here if that's okay, right? So I'm going to invite the previous two awardees to join us up here, Catherine Chris and David Goyette. If you would please come to the front and center. So do you want to do photo ops now? Or? Okay, so I'm just going to grab this. Okay. So, Jim, do you want to join us now?
Sure.
Okay. I got to say, I love your socks. Love your socks.
Just one?
Just one what?
Just me?
Yes. Would you like to say a few words now?
Well, no,
No.
yeah, I don't talk in the microphone.
Okay.
but I will. It's just wonderful that the carrying on of the tradition of volunteering is so important. And my wife had it in spades. Lots of us don't have it quite spades. It might be clubs or, I don't know, something else. But I'm glad to see these wonderful people from the last 3 years, and I hope it just keeps on continuing on and on and on. Okay.
Yes, thank you. So, oh, Dave's shaking hands. So, Catherine Chris. Well, she was the first awardee. Dave Grant was the second, and Alan Mary the third. So we hope our tradition continues so that we can have all the awardees here present as we continue to honor Peg's memory with this fabulous award. Okay, I'm going to hand this mic to you. We're going to get the plaque.
Delegate, hand it to Al.
I don't know. No?
Yeah, sure.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, this is really quite an award. When you think back of all the times that people have spent in this community, and you look around, and as volunteers, just look at the crowd here, the amount of hours and times you dedicate yourselves and compromise your families for the betterment of Enfield. And this is really special to have the two of you receive this award. Congratulations. God bless you.
So, Jim, do you want to present? So this is probably a part that nobody knows about here.
This is in addition to that.
So this is a, right. Yes, thank you. So there's a monetary award that goes with this as well from the Smith family. And oftentimes this is the part that the volunteers find the most distressful because they don't do it, right, because they're volunteers. And so I just want to also recognize that Mary and Al, I don't know if you know this, but you had multiple nominations for the award. Three. And so when we looked, you know, we went out publicly to ask our community partners and our staff and everyone else in the school district to put forward names. You were nominated by 3 people. And so when we looked at that, and Dave helped with some of that stuff, we were like, well, how could we not award these fabulous human beings this award? And so Dave was helpful. He goes, do you think they'll take it? Because I guess, you know, when you're truly a volunteer, this is the part that you hate. This is like ick city, right? So we'll try to make this as painless as possible going forward for you. But I did want to offer you the opportunity to say a few words. I was told by your husband that you would be the spokesperson for the family, Mary. You can take that up with him later.
I will. I just want to say thank you. I mean, I'm doing something I truly love, being retired. You know, you have nothing to do all day. So coming here every day and meeting people all the time, new people, and hating to see some of them leave when, you know, their hours are done or what have you. I truly love it. So I wouldn't do anything else. And thank you.
He says to Mary, very nice. He doesn't want to speak. Very nice. So thank you all. Again, thank you all for coming. I'm just going to open the, this is terrible of me, open the mic. Does anybody else want to say anything about Mary and Al before we let them part? Going once. All good. Going twice. Going 3 times. Okay, so again, on behalf of the town, I want to thank you for coming here. Jim was instrumental in helping us plan an event that was kind of low-key and humble, because that's the way PEG was, so we hope we met those goals this morning. We also have a lovely little reception with a ton of food, and nobody leaves until it's gone, just saying. Downstairs in the Enfield room. I also want to let you know that it's about 80 degrees down there. So just preparing you for that. But again, thank you. This is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate not only our community, but some of our volunteers who step up and do anything that they're asked and set a great role model. I do want to give Jim props, too, because he has recently moved out of town, but he comes back to the Adult Day Center every Monday and plays piano there. So he, too, has taken Peg's legacy seriously and still continues to volunteer. So thank you for that as well. We've been doing it 20 years, so there you go. So thank you all. With that, we'll close because they really want to get off this stage, and let's go have some food to celebrate. Thank you all.
I want to thank Dawn because she had steps to follow to get into this. And I was a little worried that after the last person, the next person wouldn't take it as seriously as she did. And Dawn has, so I want to give her all.
My pleasure.
Can we do one more picture? Scott and Greg, Ed,
Enfield room it's downstairs, one flight right across
Kathy?
from the doorway downstairs.
Kathy and
Oh,
Dawn,
sorry.
one